looking at the breakfast of champions. That is 1 cinnamon raisin bagel and 7 whole eggs and a little bit of turkey breast mixed in there. So I'm going to wolf that down, and then I got to head to work for the day, unfortunately.
What's going on, guys? First off, I want to apologize for the shortness and non-contentiness of this video. Really all I did today was work and lift. But the first movement of this exercise, shoulder day, is going to be a dumbbell, seated dumbbell press. As you can see, we've got the 80s here. I think I get this for 8 or 9. With these, I was really shooting for that 8 or 9 rep range, nice and heavy. First movement, so you know we can go fairly heavy on these without risking our form falling apart or anything like that. Next, I moved into a behind-the-neck military press. Now, this is a movement that I've been incorporating into my shoulder day a little bit more often lately. I've done a lot of the standard military press, and I really like it. The one thing I will say about it, for me anyway, is I find it very hard to isolate my shoulders. So as you can see, we're working up the weight scale here. Not a very heavy movement by any means, definitely a lot lighter than you would go in a standard military press, but it does allow you a certain contraction that you really, or at least me in particular, I find it very difficult to find with a standard military press. So you can see on this one we're going fairly heavy, and we're going to do a drop set. I like to use the 10-pound plates for drop sets just because it speeds up things. I don't have to add any plates. Literally all I have to do is do 20-pound drops each drop set and just pull those 10-pound plates off and keep repping the weight. Drop sets are something I utilize quite a bit, whether I'm bulking or cutting. Especially where I'm bulking, honestly, just about every exercise I will often do a drop set. I am king of overtraining, in case you guys haven't noticed that yet. So everything I've done in today's workout, very high volume, not a whole lot of different movements. I honestly find there's only so many things you can throw at your shoulders to get them to properly activate, and basically what I've done here is pick the best of the best. So we moved into a one-armed lateral raise. This is actually something that Pat taught me. I kind of hang off the bench lightly, and it allows me a really good contraction. Lateral raises and front raises are something that I have a really hard time getting a good muscular contraction off of, and I found isolating them by doing them one arm at a time really helped me perfect that contraction and get that good mind-muscle connection and actually get a halfway decent pump off these. So definitely something that you're going to have to try out. Think in this one I'm aiming for a little bit higher rep range. You know, I'm going for like that 10 to anywhere between 10 and 20 reps, honestly. Then I move into a front raise. You can see I'm going pretty damn high with these front raises. That's something, honestly, that I actually saw. I saw it in when I was very young, and had just started really training shoulders, and I started watching training footage on YouTube and reading books and things like that, and I noticed in the pictures and the videos I saw of all the golden era bodybuilders, they all brought the dumbbells up very high. Like if you ever watch any, I'm sure Pumping Iron has some footage of it. Whenever Arnold or any of those golden era guys do front raises, they bring it up well above the top of their head. And I started utilizing it, and it really helps, honestly. You can go up to a point where it becomes very difficult to contract the muscle, but you kind of have to play around with it and find the level that you can go up to. And often, as you can see, I'll mix these up with some different grips as the set goes on. Next, we're going into one of my favorite ways to do upright rows. Upright rows are something I utilize just to hit the rear delts predominantly, and I do them on the cable here for a little bit more constant tension. And you can go nice and heavy on them without, I find there's less momentum involved just because of that constant tension of the cable. Next, we moved into a rear delt fly. I was actually using the T-bar row machine just because it gives me a nice, somewhere around the 45 degree angle, so I can sit on that. Fairly light movement. As you can see, there is a fair bit of speed in the movement. A lot of the time people see that speed and think that I'm not contracting the muscle group, but it's farthest from the truth. Just because there's speed in a movement doesn't necessarily mean that you're not contracting the muscle group. Now for the final exercise of this workout, going back to another version of the front raise, something that I've been doing for quite a long time, a couple years. Cable front raises. It's a little bit of a difficult movement to really contract. If I'm leaning forward lightly and going very lightweight, on the cables at Kingswood Fitness, I'm going like 1 or 2 on the markings, so very light, probably 20-30 pounds at most, and really just focusing on that squeeze and that contraction, something that I've found has been very beneficial in developing my front delts, which were a lagging muscle group. And that would be the end of this workout.
Alright guys, I actually lied this morning. That is the true meal of champions. That is what I call train wreck. I don't know what the actual name for it is. It is extra lean ground beef, brown rice noodles, and tomato sauce, and usually some veggies, although I've got salads with all my meals for tomorrow, so I decided to just skip the veggies, just make it dead simple. Sorry for not vlogging a whole lot today. Today was somewhat of an uneventful day. I basically just worked, lifted, ate, and drove. So I didn't figure you guys would be interested in a whole lot of that other than possibly the lifting. So that's what I got on camera. But that will probably be it for today's vlog, honestly. I'm going to eat this meal, which is going to be my 7th meal for the day. I hit that 7 meal marker. And yeah, I'm probably going to hit the sack right after that. So until next time, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned to this channel for more cool content. And stay strong.